Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. So this is going to be a video on the visuals for Chun Li and Barbie Tingz. If you guys saw my previous video on these songs, you guys will notice that I mentioned in that video that I was trying to wait to even do that video until the visuals came out. But they didn't come out until today, so that's been like 2 weeks or something. There's been like a lot of drops. A lot of you guys have also been asking me if I'm going to review KOD by J. Cole, which I am going to review. For those of you that are new to this channel, I do review albums that I kind of like to take my time. I don't like to rush through listening to an album just to get a video out. Like, I reviewed A Seat at the Table. It took me like 3 weeks to a month, but it's not going to take me that long to review. Well, I think my J. Cole videos are probably going to come next week, so that'll be about 3 weeks. I'm going to do a video on the album itself and then a video also on the visuals for ATM and Kevin's Heart. But I wanted to do these Nicki Minaj visuals because I already did a video on the singles previously. So Chun Li and Barbie Tingz. I'm going to start off with Chun Li and then move on to Barbie Tingz. But I want to start off even by saying that just from like watching these videos and listening to these tracks, we don't really know anything about this album that's about to come out, Nicki's 4th album, but I feel like judging from the quality of these tracks and also the quality of these visuals that were released today, I feel like this era is going to be Nicki's like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy era. Like, speaking of fucking Kanye, like, and I didn't even like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Everybody that knows me knows I didn't even like that album. But just in terms of like the visuals and like the visual impact and like the impact of like the songs and just that whole era, I feel like this era is going to be like for Nicki. A lot of people feel like that's the era that kind of like elevated Kanye to being considered like a serious artist, despite the fact that he's a rapper. As I spoke about previously, rap is really an underappreciated medium. So I kind of feel like for Nicki, this is going to be like her era. Like, so starting with Chun Li, I felt like the video was extremely well produced. Both of them really were like extremely well produced, extremely well thought out. Hair, makeup, and costumes were on point. The Chun Li visuals specifically reminded me of the Stronger video, which was not My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Stronger was on, what album was Stronger on? Graduation? All I can think of is the Can't Tell Me Nothing mixtape, which had a Stronger snippet. So Graduation, had to be Graduation. So the Chun Li visuals remind me a lot of the Stronger video by Kanye West, which if you haven't seen it, like, please watch it. It was a recreation of the anime Akira. But it was like really like, I don't want to say that it was abstract, but it was like, just watch it. So in this video, similarly, Nicki is depicting herself as the fictional character Chun Li from Street Fighter. And the video is basically a video game. And even to like, I don't know if you guys have ever played Street Fighter. I've played Street Fighter. I don't know if you guys have ever played Mortal Kombat. I'm sure you guys have played Mortal Kombat or have at least seen Mortal Kombat, which was inspired by Street Fighter. But even like down to like the character, like backstory, just the whole visual style is like, okay, this is Street Fighter, like this is Mortal Kombat, like this is a video game, right? And that shit was like amazing. Like that shit was like fucking dope to watch. And the interesting thing about even Nicki portraying herself as Chun Li from Street Fighter was that she was not dressed exactly head to toe like Chun Li. You could tell, and obviously the song is called Chun Li, so you can tell like that's what she's supposed to be, but it was obviously an inspiration, right? And I've spoken previously, as we all know, on how people seem really confused about the difference between interpretation, inspiration, and copying and directly extrapolating, which is funny because, again, that was one of my main critiques of Bruno Mars, right? Like that he does impersonations, that he doesn't put, unique or creative artistic spins on things to make it his own, which would then be cultural appreciation and not appropriation. I wrote a piece on Bruno Mars for Riot where I also brought up Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, which is like a rap historical musical, as another great example of cultural appreciation and inspiration and not appropriation. We are putting our own unique artistic spin and our own unique artistic vision on things because we actually are artists with a vision. We are inspired, but we are not directly copying. And we could also get into how, again, like Chun Li is a fictional character. It's like how people fucking lose their minds, like over Santa Claus, but like Santa's not real, you know? So it's really interesting to kind of see like what appreciation looks like, because I do believe, people have asked me like, do I believe in cultural appreciation? And I do. So I find it really interesting to see like appreciation versus appropriation. And I think a huge core facet of that, which like I said in my Bruno Mars video and in my piece for Riot, I was like, what is Bruno Mars? Like, who can tell me what Bruno Mars is artistic? What is his unique artistic marker? What does he bring to the table? Just besides the fact that he can like sing and dance, which like tons of impersonators can sing and dance. Like, who is Bruno Mars as an artist? I know who Nicki Minaj is as an artist. I can still see who Nicki Minaj is as an artist despite this inspiration. So I think this is like a prime great example of appreciation. And also, I want to say that Chun Li is a metaphor. I feel like this has been going over people's heads. I know y'all aren't used to metaphors because like people don't fucking use metaphors anymore in rap. But Chun Li is a metaphor. Like, she literally says like, I am the street fighter Chun Li. And the imagery in this video, this visual, is meant to symbolize basically like her being that fighter bitch in the rap game, like how Chun Li is that fighter bitch in the video game. And the entire thing is about how people tried to come for her and now she's getting her revenge, which is the storyline of Chun Li. Like, we're drawing parallels here, like we're making metaphorical parallels and allegories with these visuals that I think are really, really, really smart and creative and inspired. And I loved her sparkly makeup. I loved her costume. I loved her hair. She had this like kinky like blonde weave that I thought looked really, really good on her. She's been wearing a lot of like more kinkier weaves this era, which I think is kind of nice. I love that she actually has powers in this video, like video game, like like powers that she uses to like fight off the people that attack her, which I feel like is probably meant to represent the fact that she actually has fucking rap skills. Like, she actually has powers like in fucking Space Jam. Like, give me my powers back. Like, she actually has rap skills. She has powers. Like, I'm gonna use my powers to defeat you. I just felt like there was a lot of, again, like metaphors that were playing out on different levels, which is supposed to be in a lot of ways, you know, that's what she's trying to do with her rap skills, and even in contributing that right now to the visuals that she's putting out, I think is fucking cool. Like, I think that shit is dope. Like, I really fucking think it's cool as fuck. She's also been using a lot of mask imagery, which I'm going to talk about more in the Barbie Tingz video. But the only thing that I didn't really like in the Chun Li video was there's like a mask costume that I felt was like a little touch and go. Like, with that costume and imagery in particular, I felt like we're almost to like stereotypical dragon lady imagery, which is not good. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. Like, again, and it really reminded me of like, again, Street Fighter, obviously, but also Mortal Kombat. Like, even like the blues and the reds and the color scheme and the fact that it's kind of set like at nights. Like, I love Mortal Kombat. I'm like a super Mortal Kombat stan. And I like Street Fighter too, so I just really enjoyed the spin, the artistic spin that she put on it. Because I'm like, thank you. Like, I can see the inspiration, yes, obviously, clearly. But I also can see Nicki Minaj as a fucking artist. And it seems like that is really getting lost in translation with a lot of artists and just with a lot of even like consumers nowadays. Because, I don't know, y'all don't think or something. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. But yeah, Chun Li. So, Barbie Tingz. I love this video. I really liked a lot of the very clear symbolism. She's using this like puppet imagery where she's like a puppet. She's like a marionette. And marionettes are on strings, which means that someone is controlling them, which I thought was really interesting. Like, she wasn't just a puppet, but she's like specifically a fucking marionette. So we're using this like puppet imagery to talk about how people are copying her and they're turned into these Nicki Minaj puppets, but there are strings. So like, there are even behind these artists, there are labels, there's all these people behind. Like, she's not really even like attacking any artist directly. She's kind of like, oh, like who is even like holding the strings of these puppets, right? Like the fact that they're marionettes, I feel like was a really deliberate artistic choice. And just in general, she has like these colorful like outfits on and these like yellow wigs and this like colorful makeup, and she's like making these faces like, ooh, ooh. And it just reminded me of like the old animated Nicki, but like mixtape Nicki with her animated like ask Lil Wayne who the 5-star bitch is. You know, like old Nicki, but more mature. Similar to 444 and even J. Cole's new project. These are artists that are growing and maturing in the rap game, which is just really fascinating to watch. To even just like I do feel like we're witnessing, I've really felt this way about 444, especially the maturing even of just like the rap game in general, like the maturing of the genre as we see these artists that have been big, heavy hitting artists also mature and also start to make different types of music and more mature types of music and more even like more mature, interesting imagery. And I think that it's just, again, like really fucking fascinating to watch. There's a scene in Barbie Tingz where they have these like dresses, like these cotillion dresses and these masks, which reminded me of the concept of a finishing school. And Nicki is like the teacher, like teaching them how to act. So again, a finishing school is like a place where girls go to learn how to act, right? And Nicki is the teacher. So again, getting back to the concept of people being taught how to look like Nicki and how to act like Nicki, and they have these masks on so we can't see their real faces, which again is another recurring theme, people with masks on so we can't see their true faces, and everybody being a Nicki clone. And I know that people are going to bring up Kim, because I always love to bring up Kim, and I love Kim, like I'm a fan of Kim, but I also feel like if Kim had addressed what she felt was Nicki copying her in this type of way, then it would have been hot. Nicki is channeling her frustration, her artistic frustration, her frustration with people copying her, her frustration with people trying to get her out of the paint, into the art, into the music, her maturing as an artist. She's putting all of this into the art and into the music. And I think that as artists, that's the way you have to do it. Like, I have to respect that. And so Barbie Tingz, both of the songs have like that more, again, like Chun Li has the more like Wu-Tang, like gritty New York vibe. Barbie Tingz does as well, but the beat switches up quite a bit. Like Barbie Tingz has more like bars, spitting. And during the more like traditional breakdowns, the more like street breakdowns of the song, she has like break dancers where they're like breakdancing and like doing this choreography. Like watching both of these videos, I just kept thinking like, again, like these are some well thought out fucking videos. They are perfectly edited. Every scene matches the beat and also matches what we're hearing in the lyrics. There's no confusion about what is going on. In my opinion, people could say whatever they want about what is going on and like what's happening and what is supposed to be, you know, being represented. Just really well thought out, really creative visuals, and also meant to convey a certain message, which I'm going to do a video going a little bit more in depth on this, but again, getting back to what we were talking about like Kanye, for example, and like what is he doing with his platform and like what type of messages is he trying to convey. I feel like with these videos, for example, Nicki isn't just telling us, she's not just using her mouthpiece to say like, you know, people are not artistic anymore, people aren't rapping anymore, people are copying me, they're clones of me, they're trying to get me out of the pit. She's showing us, I've talked before on this channel as well about show, don't tell. Don't just tell me, show me. She's showing us with the work. This is the headspace that I'm at. Like, this is where I'm at in terms of my visuals, in terms of my look, in terms of my hair, my makeup, my clothes, my fashion. She hired like, I can't think of the girl's name right now, but like, just like this is where I'm at, and I'm gonna show you guys where I'm at. Which again, we saw that with Lemonade. We saw that with 444. We saw that with A Seat at the Table. We saw that with Black Messiah, with D'Angelo, of just like really interesting artists and artists that are accomplished, like not necessarily even new artists, but artists that are accomplished and yet are still growing. And I love to see it, especially because I think we can all agree that Nicki definitely got complacent, which I talked about in my previous video. She definitely got too comfortable, and now she's pushing herself again. And shit, if the fucking Friday had to get her to this level, then I'm not mad. So that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. KOD videos are probably going to come next week, I think, hopefully. So, Chun Li, Barbie Tingz, I fucked with it. Let me know what you guys think. There will be some links in the description box. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.